It's time to call myself out. I've tested a ton of gear. I've carried a ton of gear. I've rotated, reviewed, unboxed, the whole thing. But over the last few months, I realized something. There's a lot of gear that I used to carry that I don't touch anymore. And the stuff I stopped carrying actually says more about my EDC philosophy than what I still carry. Today, I'm exposing myself, the gear I stopped carrying, and why letting go might be the most honest part of your EDC journey. Welcome back to Not Another EDC Podcast, where everyday carry meets everyday life. I'm Mikey, a husband, father, EDC content creator, gear enthusiast, and someone who has definitely gotten carried away with gear more than once. Today's episode is about the evolution of your carry, not the things you add, but the things you eventually let go of. First, let's talk about why we stop carrying things. A lot of us start carrying gear because it made us feel prepared, capable, part of the community. But as life changes, work, kids, routines, responsibilities, your EDC has to change too. And sometimes the most honest thing you can do is admit that something you bought, loved, or hyped up doesn't fit your life anymore. So here's the gear that I stopped carrying and why. Number one is extra knives. I used to carry 2 knives, sometimes 3. It's wild. I thought I needed options, different steels, different blades, different vibes. But real talk, I only ever used one, if that. The second knife was basically just pocket decoration, and the third knife. Number 2 has to be a backup flashlight. This one hurts me. I love lights, but carrying 2? Yeah, that phase ended. My main flashlight does its job, and anything beyond that is just a security blanket. I even took off the extra flashlights that I had on my keychain because it just didn't make sense because I had a good one on my hip. The next one is backup wallets. For a while, I was rotating wallets like outfits, but I realized something. When you switch wallets constantly, you never build a system. Now I rotate way less and I don't carry backup wallets. I don't need options. I need consistency. And lastly, it's overbuilt tools. This includes huge multi-tools, big blades, or just heavier organizers. I don't live the kind of life where a 40 tool multi-tool makes sense. And carrying something that heavy just because I can wasn't it. That also goes for unused pouches. I used to fill pouches with gear just in case. But I started realizing that if you carry a pouch for 3 months and never unzip it, does it even count as EDC? And lastly, it's gear that looks cool but doesn't serve my life. This one is the hardest to admit because sometimes we buy stuff because the community loves it. Sometimes because the photos look cool. Sometimes because it gives us that new gear buzz and rush. But if it doesn't fit your real life, your work, your commute, your family, then it's not EDC. It's just stuff. So what does this say about your EDC? Well, the gear you stop carrying is just as important as the gear you keep, because letting go forces you to be honest about your lifestyle, your habits, your priorities. And for most people, your EDC eventually becomes simpler, lighter, more practical, and more intentional. The more your life changes, the more your carry should reflect the person you are today, not the person you were when you bought the gear. And I know that there's a lot of people that talk about practicalities and things not being practical, but if you truly find ways to be practical and intentional with the items that you carry, then it becomes practical to you. Obviously, I'm not in my truck, so my recurring segment of what's in my truck is not going to be possible, but I'm going to talk about what I recommend for everyday carry. If you're into the gym and you want a solution for you not having to put your phone, keys, wallet, and things like that on the floor when you're working out or doing your sets in your workouts, this is what you need. A Magnetic Bag Company 40-ounce bag holder. It can hold a bottle up to 40 ounces. This is actually 26 ounces. This is a Yeti. Has a pocket on each side here where you can put gear. And then it also has a section back here that allows you to dump a lot of extra gear that you just have on your person. So that way you don't have to worry about weights falling on your gear and damaging your stuff. You can have everything in this bag and it can just stick onto steel surfaces, no problem. And that way you can protect your stuff. Check them out, Magnetic Bag Company. I'll make sure I put a link in the description of this video so you can snag one of these yourself. So now let's reflect on the episode. If you are listening today, ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, what gear am I carrying that I haven't used in months? Number 2, why am I still carrying it? Like I said, your EDC should evolve. Your gear should change as you do. And sometimes the best step forward is letting go of the gear you used to love. Thank you for tuning in to episode 12 of Not Another EDC Podcast. If there's gear you stopped carrying, I want to hear it. Fire down in the comments below. Shoot me a message even on Instagram at MikeyDailyCarry so that way we can talk about it. Stay aware, stay prepared, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out. Waka